The diner went silent when the little girl's trembling voice cut through the chaos. Her hand clung to her father's sleeve, her eyes wide with fear, not for herself, but for a woman she barely knew. 3 grown men were cornering the young military medic in the back of the diner, shouting, pushing, and closing in. The father stepped forward. Calm, quiet, controlled. No one there knew who he really was. No one knew what he was capable of. But they were all about to, because in that single second, the world would learn the truth behind the man the Navy once called the Ghost of Coronado. The morning sunlight spilled through the windows of the small town diner as Jack Rylan, a single father and former Navy SEAL, sat across from his 8-year-old daughter Lily. Jack lived a quiet life now. He cooked breakfast for his daughter. He fixed engines at the local shop. He tried to forget the missions, the noise, the loss. For once, life was simple. But simplicity has a way of shattering when you least expect it. Across the diner, a young woman in fatigues was eating alone. She looked exhausted, dark circles, trembling hands, like she hadn't slept in days. Lily noticed before Jack did. "Daddy, she looks sad," Lily whispered. Jack nodded gently. "Some battles don't happen on fields, sweetheart." And then the door slammed open. 3 men stormed inside, loud drunk from the night before, fists clenched and angry. They recognized the medic instantly. "Hey!" one of them shouted. "You think you can report us and get away with it?" The woman froze. Her breath hitched. Her eyes darted around the room for help, but no one moved. Not yet. Jack watched silently, his jaw tightening the way it used to on deployment. The men surrounded her. One grabbed her wrist. Another shoved her shoulder. The third blocked her escape. Lily tugged harder on Jack's sleeve. Her voice shook. "Daddy, please help her." That was all it took. The past he tried to bury snapped awake, like a dragon rising from sleep. Jack stood, calm, fluid, without hesitation. "Let her go," he said. The men turned and laughed. "You gonna make us?" Jack didn't answer. He didn't need to. What happened next took less than 4 seconds. One man lunged. Jack stepped aside, grabbed his arm, and flipped him over the counter. The second swung. Jack ducked, delivered a single sharp elbow, and the man dropped like a stone. The third tried to grab him from behind. Jack pivoted, swept his legs, and pinned him with a forearm across the neck. The diner fell into stunned silence. Jack released the man and stood tall, shielding both Lily and the medic behind him. The 3 men scrambled out of the diner, swearing and stumbling. The medic looked up at him with teary eyes. How did you do that?" Jack simply replied, "I'm a dad. I protect people. That's all." But he knew it wasn't all. Not even close. And the next morning, someone else knew it too. Because a black Navy SUV pulled up in front of Jack's housey, and the man who stepped out wasn't just anyone. It was Admiral Norton, one of the highest-ranking officers in the Navy, a man who wasn't known for making house calls. Jack opened the door cautiously. The Admiral stood tall, decorated, his expression unreadable. "Jack Rylan," he said. "I never thought I'd be standing on your porch." Jack replied quietly, "I'm not that man anymore, sir." The Admiral's eyes softened. "Yesterday says otherwise." Lily peeked from behind her father, clutching her stuffed bear. The Admiral gave her a warm smile before returning his gaze to Jack. "You saved one of our own," he said. "Corpsman Sarah Hale. The men who attacked her were under investigation. She was trying to do the right thing. You may have saved her life." Jack simply nodded. "I didn't do it for the Navy. I did it because my daughter asked me to." The Admiral chuckled softly. "Maybe that's exactly why the Navy needs you again." Jack stiffened. He knew this moment would come someday. He just hoped it never would. "Sir, I hung up that uniform years ago. My daughter needs me here." The Admiral stepped closer. "Jack, we're not asking you to deploy. We're asking for help training a new humanitarian rescue unit. HRT Bravo. They need someone who understands danger and compassion. Someone who fights only when there's no other choice." Jack looked at Lily. She nodded like she understood more than any child her age should. "Daddy helps people," she whispered. "Sometimes children see the truth adults hide from themselves." Jack exhaled deeply. "I'll train them," he finally said. "But I'm not leaving my daughter." "And we wouldn't ask you to," the Admiral replied. The handshake between the 2 men felt like the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another. As the Admiral walked back to the SUV, he turned and said, "Jack, yesterday, you showed your daughter who you are. Now show the world. The SUV pulled away, leaving Jack standing on the porch with Lily's small hand wrapped around his. "Daddy," she said softly, "are you a hero?" Jack lifted her into his arms. "No, sweetheart," he whispered. "But I'll spend the rest of my life trying to be one for you." This story reminds us that real strength is quiet, heroism is not a uniform. It's a choice. A child's innocence can awaken courage. In even the most broken hearts, doing the right thing might change someone's life, even save it. When a father stands for what's right, he doesn't just protect the world. He teaches his child how to live in it.